How's it going today, Jera Bears? I'm Jera Sky. If you're new here, subscribe before you leave. You know you wanna. Today we're gonna talk about minimalism and quitting is okay. You don't have to do the things you don't want to do. Alright guys, today let's talk about minimalism and how quitting is okay. You don't have to do the things that you don't want to do, that aren't fulfilling you. You don't have to do them. Yesterday we talked about the train tracks and being on this path. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out right now. There are either two ways in which you are doing things. One way which you feel like you're kind of out of control with, you're on that train track, or another way in which you did choose these items, but you feel like they don't work for you. Say for example, maybe it is even a job. Maybe it's what you went to school for, you studied in college, you got good grades, you worked really hard, you really wanted to do this thing and you got the job, and now having done it, you've decided this is not what you want, this is not what you want to do. There is a YouTuber who went to engineering school, he did it, he hated it, and then switched, and now he's a YouTuber, and he loves it. I cannot think of his name right now, but I will post it in the description box below if I can find it. Okay, so that's one way in which maybe you have chosen something that you've done, you don't like it, and it's okay to change it. It's okay to quit, because it's not really quitting if you're deciding that you want something else. You're deciding that you are not being fulfilled. You are deciding that this is no longer worth your time. Quitting is when you really want to do something and you stop and you don't work on it anymore, even though you want it just because you think you can't do it. That is quitting. I want to talk a little bit about my story and like some stuff you guys might not know about how I have altered the course of the way I chase the same dream, but I have quit certain things to keep doing that. So when I was 14, I bought myself my first video camera, and my sister and I made jackass style videos in my house. I wanted to make stuff. I wanted to make people laugh. Did I actually want to be like Jackass and everything? Not really, because I don't like getting hurt. I wonder if I have the clip of that.
The Christian stepping.
Oh.
For your head. Go. Oh! Ow, that hurt. That touched my hand. Yeah, I'm recording that. I got that.
Really raw.
Let's go. Oh my god. Are you okay? Incident she just did. She ain't feeling too well.
My knee. Stop recording, I changed my mind. This is goodbye from Jera. I hope you enjoyed this show.
So I bought my first video camera when I was 14 years old because I had taken this class in middle school, this like media class with my teacher, Mr. Davis, in Maple Point Middle School. He's probably still there. I wasn't even going to take that class, but he just was really insisting. He's like, you should take my class, you should take my class. So I took his class. And it ended up being like a life-changing class. Everything that I do now stems from that class. Everything that I learned and love to do now stems so much from that class. That is why I bought and I spent the money I had earned delivering newspapers and bought myself a video camera, because after taking that class, like, we learned how to shoot stuff. We learned so many different aspects of media. We learned how to make business cards. We did menus, so I learned like Microsoft, like back then it was like Microsoft Word, sort of like Photoshop, Bitmap, Paint, sort of like, you know, design sort of things. Then we shot music videos. My friend Carrie and I shot an Offspring music video, and it was so much fun, and I learned how to edit, like analog editing, which is so different than what we do here. It was so much harder, but it was so much fun. I found out that this thing that I liked watching all the time and everything, like, I had the capability to somehow do, that it was possible. This is so silly. So I've been wanting to make videos and have an impact since I was 14 years old. Have I done it 100% consistently since then? No, obviously. So I started by making those videos. Then when my parents got divorced and we moved from Pennsylvania to New Mexico, I documented our whole trip. All the tapes of this is like, I threw them out because I never thought I'd be able to transfer them and get them. All that stuff is gone. And then I let that go for a bit because I had a band, I was a drummer, my mom wanted me to be a rock star and she was pushing that, and like I wanted it to, but like when I saw Travis Barker doing the things he was doing and practicing drumming nonstop on the drum pad, everything, and I was like, I don't have that in me. This is not for me. As much as I want to make music and everything, I don't have the love to just sit there and practice this nonstop. I don't have that for this. So I kind of let that go. And then when I was 19, I think I shot some more videos with my friend Rosie. Rosie and I wanted to come to California and make movies and blow up and get famous like Bam Margera and just like document and be ridiculous. But things happened and that didn't happen. But at the time when I was 19, I was 18. I went into school for college. Got a scholarship to college to go for free, sort of. I was studying art, then I was studying German because I loved German movies so much. I studied German because I liked German movies. And then I realized, oh, I like movies. So I finally switched my degree to film, or media arts as it was called. It's film. Learned how to shoot stuff. I shot my first short film, actual film. It was called Vampire Suicide. It was about a vampire. This was way before What We Do in the Shadows was so like what I had envisioned for what I had made. I just didn't know how to do it. And also years later, craziness. But it was about a vampire who was just so over it and wanted to die and kept trying to commit suicide and couldn't because vampires couldn't die. Anyways, and then I made some other stuff as well. And then I started making a cartoon. That was called PuppyDragon Land. There's a whole bunch of episodes that I hand animated without animation software. I drew the stills, that's why it's not very motionful. You could check those out here. And I had this dream of creating this cartoon that was kind of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but was with my own different little puppy dragons that were all different aspects of myself and Brandon, and they would just make you laugh, make you happy. And the whole fact about a puppy dragon is that anything is possible. So the message was that, like, if you believe it, anything is possible, because we had adopted these crazy little puppy dragons and they just changed our lives. There's also some books on Amazon of some short stories from PuppyDragon Land if you want to read about it too. I don't think I can link that, but if you look up Jera Sky on Amazon, there is a bunch of little short story books of PuppyDragon Land. And we worked on PuppyDragon Land for years trying to figure out what to do with that, how to get that going. And just couldn't figure it out. So we kind of stopped. And just because I stopped, that doesn't mean I quit that. But for now, yes, I did quit that. I think there is a difference between quitting and working towards the same goal. After PuppyDragon Land, I was doing acting stuff. Finally did start auditioning commercially, and I booked a couple national commercials because I was very set on that I needed money to facilitate the future I wanted. So I made the most impossible thing happen, and I booked 2 national commercials back to back. And that changed my life. Because it was after I had gone bankrupt and I had made like no money for a year. The months before the bankruptcy, the months after the bankruptcy, and it was right after that like window of when you can't make the money. I made the money all of a sudden. Right after that, everything became possible. And I decided when I made that money that I was going to change my life, and I was never, ever going to let myself live the way I was living before. The next year, Brennan and I made the decision. I was like, well, the whole time I wanted to make movies. This is what I want. We made 10 feature films in the span of 10 months. You might have seen one of them, Zombie Cop, that I put on here. It's under the title of Dave Ayers stole our movie idea and sold it to Netflix, which still feel like totally could have watched that. But if you want to watch any of the other feature films, I will put a link to them in the description box below. Are they all great? No. But it was something I had wanted to do. And the 10th movie was also a documentary about how we made all the other 9 movies in that time, and how it changed us as people. And then after that, or during that, I was starting to do minimalism. And I had put up a couple random videos here, but after I made the 10 feature films, I felt like, okay, as much as I want to make movies, I don't want to make it on that shoestring of a budget, because I feel like it was about $200 a movie, and it was extremely hard to try to think of how to make movies without money. They were also kind of interesting, incredibly difficult. One of the other things I also had wanted to do to change my life was to travel, so I built a camper van, and I documented all that on my channel. And then by the end of that, we ended up wanting to move to Hawaii. We moved to Hawaii. That changed my life. Documented all that on this channel. And at the beginning of this year, I decided to make myself a promise, because I watched a bunch of YouTube channels, and I just saw all these people that had been making YouTube videos for years. And while I had been making videos for years, I had not been very focused. So Brandon told me, just make minimalism videos, just do that. So that's what I started doing. And then partway through the year, right before May, I read Tony Robbins' book, Waking the Giant Within, and decided that I was going to make a video every single day until the end of the year, which so far I have. I've made over 150 videos this year. I don't know the exact number, and I traveled all over the world. I went to multiple VidCons. I went to the Fruit Festival, and I've made a video every single day so far since May. Now, does what I'm doing now mean that I have quit all the ways in which I have made films? No, if you look at that, I have quit the methods that I felt weren't working, that I felt like I needed to refine myself more, that I needed to change and grow. Because if I had just stuck with making jackass videos since I was a kid, I would just be making jackass type getting hurt videos till now. And is that what I wanted from my life? No. But it doesn't mean I didn't want to make movies or make film or make content that changed people, inspired people, made people laugh, made people happy, changed their life. Like I felt movies and video did for me. No, I quit some of the methods of the ways in which I did it, but I never let go of the thing that I really wanted to do, which was making the content, the influential content. And in some ways I'll look at it and I'm like, I just kept quitting. No, I grew out of certain things. Does that mean I'll never make more PuppyDragon Land stuff? No. It means if I have enough money and everything, I will hire an animation team and I will make PuppyDragon Land. I have an ultimate goal one day of opening up a theme park of PuppyDragon Land. That is insane. Who opens up theme parks? I don't know, but I want it. I love going to Universal Studios. I want to create that sort of thing of my own and do it differently. It'll be a vegan theme park. And it sounds crazy now. What's worth shooting for if it doesn't seem crazy and impossible and something that would be amazing to achieve? So what I'm saying is sometimes you have to let go of certain ways that you are working towards a goal in order to get to the next variation of the same thing, because maybe it wasn't as refined as it needed to be for you to be successful. And be okay with the fact that you have to let go that certain aspect in order to get to the place you want to be. If I hadn't started out by filming myself being an idiot with my sister on camera, I would not be here sitting in the closet inspiring you. I would not be here sitting here talking to you and inspiring you to help change your life so you lived a happier life. Just from something stupid when I was a kid. It has created what I am now. It is not the same thing. It's a different variation of the exact same purpose and want that I had for my life. Okay, just know that I shot this whole section of my story after I shot the whole rest of the other video and inserted it, so I'm sorry if it was very long. I did not think it was going to be this long, but the next part is about quitting and everything. But I just wanted you to know where I was coming from and how things can manifest and change and grow, but you could be working towards the same thing that you were working for originally. But that's why you have to quit some things. I quit making PuppyDragon Land, but I never quit making video. Okay, but let's tie this back down around to minimalism and how when you downsize the things that are in your life and you get rid of things, you make more time for space, and you start doing other things because now you have more time. So maybe you've started a business, you've started something other than what you were doing before because you thought that was something that was going to make you happy. You started, you're doing it first, like yes. As you get more into it, you're like, I'm not feeling fulfilled in the way in which I thought I was going to be fulfilled. So now what? Well, I've chosen this, now I have to do it. No, you don't. You do not have to do what you do not want to do. That is the whole thing, is that once you get tapped into you, what makes you feel good, what makes you happy, you will be able to sense when things are not working faster. Instead of going years in your life, maybe it's just months of your life. Maybe it's days. For me, it's days. I can decide in a few days whether or not something is working for me or not, because I'm very tapped into how I feel and how other things affect me and make me feel. And that this is something that you should be aware of too. If you have downsized, you've decluttered this stuff, and you still are having things that make you unhappy or you don't like, what are you doing? Make a change. That's the whole thing, is you have the power. You have the power to change the things that you don't like in your life. You can change your job. You could change how you make money. Will there be growing pains and a period of which uncomfortability? Yes, possibly, definitely. But that does not mean that you have to be miserable the entire time, because you know that the change is coming, that the growth is coming. Soon, going to be doing exactly what you want. Because you have the power, you don't have to stay stuck. Stuck is not a word that minimalists have to stay in. Stuck is not a feeling that minimalists have to have. Because we are adaptable. We are willing to change. We are willing to grow. We are willing to keep educating ourselves, learning more about the world, learning more about the things that we love, the things that we don't like. You're open to seeing the possibilities that one way in which we see things is not the only way that there has to be. A lot of people will go into many situations and see how everything is being done and accept that that is just how it is done. But we don't do that. We come in, we see, we get creative, and we think, hey, maybe this would work out better. Maybe our apartment doesn't have to stay the way that it is. Maybe I reset, I move everything into a separate room, and I restart over because I don't like the way this flows. Because I think I could better utilize my household. I can make more space for things that I want to do. Maybe I want to dance in my house, and I can adjust my furniture and put it where I want it and build a new little dance area. The way in which we are living is not the way in which we have to live forever. And that is amazing. We get to keep having better and better and better. And it's not about thinking that, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. It's about enhancing our lives. About understanding that if I put myself in the situation for success, that I will be successful. If I put myself in a situation for happiness, I will be happy. And that a situation that I am currently in does not have to be one that I am in. I do not have to stay there. There's no rules obstacles that is keeping me there. Well, maybe within reason, you know what I'm saying? The only difference between you and a non-minimalist is your ability to take action, your ability to let things go, your ability to change, your ability to want more, to want better for yourself, to understand that being in any situation does not mean it is a permanent thing. So even if in minimalism you decide to switch and change your job, maybe you want to do freelance work and you're doing that and you're like, man, I am struggling. This is not exactly working how I thought it would be. I don't feel comfortable with this anymore. I think I actually liked going to work, going to a job, hanging out with people, not being all by myself all the time, and I liked the fact that I knew that I was going to have income. That might be possible, and you might decide to switch and go back to a job. Maybe you did freelance because you wanted to travel more, but you actually feel like you were spending more time working, trying to find jobs, find the money so that you can go travel, that it's almost no difference. You are working all the time anyways. So go to the job, you bank up the money, you take a break, and then you go and travel for a longer period of time. Adjust, adapt, grow. Accept that you don't know everything when you get into it, and that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to quit, because quitting is okay if it is a decision that you make out of strength, not fear. You change because you know you want this, not that. And that is a-okay. Even if at one time you wanted that. But it is different now because you've had that, you felt it, it's in your body, you've done it, it's an experience, you've grown. You're now not the person that wanted that. You're a different person now. And this person needs another challenge. Maybe as simple as that. We're not feeling challenged because we are people who are always seeking, searching, growing, changing. That once you get something, that might not be it. But that is okay because you have a new hurdle to tackle, new mountain to climb. You are excited at the possibilities of this new mountain. There is nothing wrong with that. I know there's a lot of quotes out there that says quitting is not an option. And those people had to quit something in order to have the focus and the time and the energy to do the thing that they wanted. So in essence, it's just a fancy, nice little quote that makes you feel good for when times get rough. But like I said, quitting on something that you don't want is not quitting. It is releasing it. It is releasing yourself from the stress, from the anxiety, from the attachment to something you don't want in your life. And that, friends, a-okay. So long as you keep working on something that you really want and you persevere and you go for it full force, you can quit any damn thing you want. You only need one thing. A lot of people are afraid of quitting because they feel a responsibility to other people, their friends, their family. They feel like they have to do these things because they said these things. They said, this is what I wanted. And now other people are expecting you to be that person. You owe nobody anything. Even if your parents paid for your schooling, you do not owe them. They chose to bring you into the world, and what they give you is a gift. If any of your parents make you feel like you owe them, they are cheating you. Do not let them cheat you out of opportunity. They are adults. They are older than you. They know better. If they didn't want to give you the money, they did not have to give you the money. But they chose to do so. That is something that they have to live with, and that they need to let go of what you have done, say, with the money. But you don't owe anybody anything. The only person you owe is yourself. You owe it to yourself to be happy, to do the things you want to do. If you want to quit certain things because they are not making you happy, they're not facilitating your dream life. They're not facilitating the life you want to live, the life you are going to help inspire change and make positive change on the world with other people, inspire other people to do great things, then it is okay to quit that damn thing that is keeping you from participating in the world in a positive way. And don't let anybody tell you that it's not. Somebody judges you for the choices that you have made. Maybe you do not want to keep that person in your life. Let them go, because they should be supportive of the things that you want to do and the things that make you happy. Don't let anybody take that away from you. So you need to be okay with the fact that every single minute, every single day, you change into a different person, and that you have no responsibility to anybody to be the same exact person you were yesterday. If today you decided you're going to live a better life and you're going to change, and there's things that you did yesterday that you will not do today, that is okay. You need to be happy. And if changing and becoming a person that you really want to be is part of it, do it! Quit being the old version of you that you didn't like anyways. It is okay. Quit that. Is it hard? Can it be hard? Yes. But in a way, it is so easy, because every single day you get to hit a reset button. Every single day that you wake up lucky enough to be alive, you get to start fresh if you choose to start fresh. The only person that keeps you from doing the things you want to do, who you want to be, is you. Do not let other people control your life. There is no happiness in that, I promise you. I have been there. I have done that. I have had a very controlling mother. Do not listen to them. It is not worth missing out on years of your life not doing the things that you really wanted to do because you let somebody else instill a ton of fear in you because you didn't know any better. But you know better, because I've already done it. I've lived through it, and I'm telling you, it is not worth it. You do you. You do you, boo. Okay? Quit the things that are holding you back. Don't worry about how it's going to affect other people, so long as it's not like a massive, negative, awful thing. Don't do terrible things to people. I'm not saying do terrible things to people. I'm saying you owe it to yourself to be happy, to live a wonderful life, to get to try and experience the things that you want to try and experience. And that those around you should celebrate this. And if they are not, maybe they are some of the things that you minimize. Alright guys, if you like this video on minimalism and quitting is okay, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to put a comment in the comment section below what's something that you have quit that you thought it was okay. For me, something I quit was going to auditions. I did not feel like they facilitated my future. I feel like they took a lot of time away from me that I could have used creating my own things, like these YouTube videos, and this benefits me far greater than going to auditions and feeling judged. And thank you all new people for subscribing. I knew you would. I knew you would. Alright guys, don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at JeraSky. I'm JeraSky. Sky's the limit. Woo! Yesterday we talked about the train. Oh no, I swear. Because you thought that that's. I am not feeling fulfilled in what. I am not feeling fulfilled in the way that at which I thought I was going to be feeling. Like they have to do these things. Hey, we're almost done. Okay, I think that's good.